Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I hope yesterday went okay. I know, it's not the best, but it's better than nothing. It was better than nothing. It would have been nothing. So I got to see a tiny bit of chat because I was still recording OJ when you guys started the live. So it was funny because I'm doing OJ while you guys are in there. It was kind of weird. But, you know, this December 12th and 13th are another two I open and close days. So we're either not going to stream those 2 days or I'm going to record a clip at a time on one of those days. Because it's just in between those two shifts. There's only a couple hours and there's such long shifts. So I have to sleep, which is very easy to do on those days. It's very easy to sleep. But my job actually stops doing shows for like 8 weeks. Like January, I can't remember the exact date. The beginning of January starts. So I will have lots of time soon to do whatever I want to do for 8 weeks. Oh yeah, Anthony's birthday. Anthony's birthday was just, he turned 22. My baby turned 22 while he was at work. Wow, it's good for him. I never have to work on my birthday. Never. But all three of my kids do. And that's just life. Alright, we're going to go to a YouTube judge today. Oops, I thought I had it ready. And look, it's just not. It's just shoved way up in the corner somewhere. And I don't see YouTube. I do see YouTube. I'm hiding it. There we go. And if you give me a second, I'll get Twitch loaded. I just need a second. We can start the docket though. Wow. Now, will you have sound? That's the question on my mind right now.
I will make an announcement in
Yes,
Spanish.
you do have
Buenos
sound.
días a todos. Mi nombre es Diana y soy la intérprete para esta sesión. Si hay alguien aquí que necesite interpretación inglés-español, español-inglés, por favor levante su mano ahora. Gracias.
I have two people back there.
Sure. Thank you.
Su nombre?
Isaac Reyes. Isaac Reyes.
Reyes Isaac and
Arsenio Moreno.
Arsenio Moreno.
Okay.
All right, those two. All right, we'll take them up in a little bit. Let me see who's here and not here. All right, and then we'll get back, Diana.
Sure.
All right, James, what do we have? I'll get you out of here.
We have three: Pedro Davila Garcia, Christopher Anthony Fowler, and Trevor Proby, and their suspensions on the license to carry a handgun.
All right, let me see. Where are those files?
There should be.
They're here. Are they in the front or in the back or?
Number 274 and 278.
No way. Eileen, is that true? I knew you would. I could hear what you guys would say.
There's only two or there's three?
And
That's pretty
322
cool.
is also his.
What's the other one?
322.
All right, let's take up Department of Public Safety versus Trevor Proby. Trevor, come on up. All right. All right, James,
Yes, Your Honor.
tell me why we're here.
Okay, so the department initially sought to revoke Mr. Proby's license because he was convicted of a Class A misdemeanor for assault and family violence, but he has filed an appeal, criminal appeal in the underlying matter. So we're just asking that we suspend his license at this time while his appeal is pending. Under Government Code 411-187, it said the department shall suspend the licensee if the license holder has been charged with a Class A or Class B misdemeanor. Since it's still considered to be pending, it applies here. Here, Mr. Fowler was, convicted of a Class A misdemeanor. And because it's still pending, because of the pending appeal, his license should be suspended during the pendency of the action. And in support of our position, we have exhibits A through G, which are copies of his application screenshots, original copy of the revocation letter, the criminal documents, excerpts from Texas Penal Code and Texas Government Code regarding his underlying criminal charges and the eligibility requirements. And then we have the email and tracking information to the respondent regarding the notice of hearing.
All right. I'll hear from you.
Yes, sir. I got a copy of the notice of appeal.
Oh, well, I don't, he's affirmed that, so I don't think that's in dispute.
Okay,
What he's saying is that the department at this point in time, since there is an appeal, is not seeking to revoke your license, but under the government code or under the rules to just suspend it pending the decision of the Court of Appeals. Is that correct, Mr. Gade?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to just clarify that my wife and I were going through a divorce, and she filed that charge for to seek custody of my children when she
I
first
understand that, but
there was no weapon involved. There was anything like that. I have pictures.
well, I mean, what's before the court is not a review of what happened, other than there's a question whether or not you are, according to the rules, whether or not you're subject to a revocation of your license or a suspension. And so you have pending an appeal, it's going to be suspended pending the appeal. Is that correct, Mr. Gade?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, and that suspension is indefinite, correct?
Yes, until the underlying appeal gets worked out.
All right. All right. Your license to carry is suspended, not revoked, pending the decision on the case on appeal. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Texas Department of Public Safety versus Pedro Davila Garcia. All right.
I'm here, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Garcia, tell me, Mr. Gade, tell me why we're here.
Sure. This is another suspension, Your Honor. He was charged with a Class A misdemeanor for interference with an emergency request assistance on June 24th, 2025. And under the Government Code 411-187, it says the department shall suspend licensee if the license holder has been charged with a Class A or Class B misdemeanor or felony. Here, Mr. Garcia was charged with a Class A misdemeanor, and his license should be suspended. I think the next hearing in the underlying matter is on the 8th, so it's still an ongoing action, and we're asking the court to suspend his license at this time.
All right, Mr. Davila Garcia.
Yes, sir. Can I speak on my defense on this, Your Honor?
Well, the court is not going to get into the facts with respect to what happened on that alleged day in this summer. All right, I'm not going to go behind what what's you are charged with, not the criminal
no.
offense, but you're here before the court administratively, as I said.
Yes.
And the law provides that, and Mr. Gate, correct me if I'm wrong. If you are charged, if you have a license to carry, and you are charged with a criminal offense B or above, that your license is subject to being suspended pending that case. Am I wrong, Mr. Gate?
No, that's correct. That's under Government Code 411-187 A1.
Yes, I know the code. I was actually going to speak up on that for a second. I just wanted to make it very clear because I was trying to make DPS understand. When I had filed my paperwork with them, my mother has mental illness. We were trying to seek help for my mother at that time. We had not been charged or anything like that. Right now, the lawyers have seen that it is going to be possibly dismissed under community service. Yes, it could have been handled in a better way, but we had fussed over the phone, me and her. She has bipolar disorder. She was hitting me and my partner, and there was no weapon involved at the time. We had set her down. I had tried contacting Dallas PD to be able to get mental health. They had stated that they did not have a mental eval there. After the phone was being hung up, they, because her and I were fussing over the phone, I cannot tell you who hung up the phone or whatever. At that time, we ended up, Dallas PD got there. We tried asking them for them to be able to preside somebody to do an eval on her. No, they stated they did not have eval medical help for that Dallas does not have mental health help. That was the issue what had happened, why me and my partner have both got arrested and why my licensing is being suspended.
All right, well, I understand that, and that's something that you need to talk to your lawyer about, your lawyers about in getting that resolved. But in any event, it's the judgment of the court that the license is suspending pending resolution of the criminal matter. All right,
Understood.
there you go. All right, Texas Department of Public Safety versus Christopher Anthony Fowler. Mr. Fowler, he's here. All right, Mr. Gade,
This is another suspension, Your
tell me
Honor.
why we're here. You're the movement.
Okay, yes, this is another suspension, Your Honor. He was charged with Class B misdemeanor for driving while intoxicated and unlawful carrying of a weapon on July 20th, 2025. Again, the government code states that if you're charged with a Class A or Class B misdemeanor or felony, your license is subject to suspension. Here he was charged with both a Class A and Class B misdemeanor, and his license should be suspended during the action. And in support of our position, we have Exhibits A through K, which are the criminal documents, suspension letter, transportation code, and government code. So we're asking the court to uphold our suspension. His next setting is December 17th, 2025, so it is ongoing.
I'll hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to submit that during this case, the probable cause that was utilized for the initial traffic stop was based off of the vehicle in front of me that my wife was driving, on the allegations that she was intoxicated. That case has since been dismissed. And I'd like to argue, Judge, that since that was the probable cause utilized for my interaction with the officers, that the court would look to uphold my driver's license, which has not been suspended, and also my concealed handgun license. I'm also submit that I'm a sworn state of Texas peace officer in volunteer status as a reserve officer serving Bexar County, Montgomery County, and also Harris County as a constable. In the case when I was driving from San Antonio, which is my home of record, to Houston, Texas, where I was going to perform my duties as a reserve peace officer the subsequent days. So I'd like to ask that since that probable cause they utilized for my wife's traffic stop was dismissed, and I have a copy here, Judge, showing that dismissal.
Well, I believe you. But what you're asking me to is to you're asking me to adjudicate the pending criminal case or the facts surrounding the pending criminal case. And that's not before the court. What's before the court is whether or not you have a license and whether or not you were arrested for a Class B and above. And Mr. Gage's testimony is that I'm sorry to point, Mr. Gage, but that's correct. Am I wrong?
No, that's correct. As long as the underlying criminal charges are pending, we're not here to adjudicate whether they had probable cause in the underlying action. It's whether there are charges pending, which makes them subject to suspension of the license.
All right, so I move to court moves to suspend your license. Pending resolution of the criminal matters. All right, you're excused. We'll send you we'll send you a copy of the order. All right, anything
Your
else,
Honor.
Mr. Gage?
No, Your Honor, may I be dismissed?
Yes. All right,
Thank
have a
you,
good
Your Honor.
weekend, sir.
You too.
All right.
Have a good holiday.
All right, here we go. Ms. Lugo, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Lugo. All right, Texas Department of Public Safety versus, let's take up the two Spanish. So we can have Deanna go about her business and start a weekend early.
Thank you.
All right, let's get what was it, the two people?
I got
Nombre?
Mr. Reyes and Mr. Arsenio Moreno.
Moreno? All right, Mr. Moreno. And the other person, so just so we can have them, you got both of them?
Mhm.
All right, perfect. Mr. Moreno first. All right, first, Miss Diana, will you introduce yourself to Mr. Moreno?
Sí, buenos días, señor Moreno. Mi nombre es Diana y yo seré la intérprete para su sesión.
¿Puede escuchar?
Yes, sir.
All right, nice and loud. All right. Ms. Lugo, tell me why we're here, nice and slow, so Diana can translate it.
Okay. We're here today because Mr. Moreno was in a car accident, and he didn't have insurance at that moment.
Sí, buenos días, señor Moreno. Usted está aquí porque usted estuvo en un accidente de auto y no tenía seguro de su auto.
Okay. What were the damages?
Estimated at $1,382 with 50 cents.
Y los daños que se ocasionaron son un estimado de $1,382 con 50 centavos.
Mr. Moreno, have you worked something out with the opposing party?
Sí, señor Moreno, ¿ha tratado usted de llegar a algún acuerdo con las que tuvo el accidente?
Sí, ya cancelé la totalidad del dinero. Aquí está la prueba.
Yes, I have paid off, and here's my proof.
Y la prueba también de que estaba asegurado en el día del accidente.
And this is also the proof that I was insured at the time of the accident.
Well, let me ask you something with respect to the insurance. Did you get the insurance after the fact?
¿Y usted adquirió ese seguro después del accidente?
No antes, siempre he estado cubierto.
No, that was before. I've always been covered.
What car were you driving?
¿Qué carro estaba usted manejando?
Un Toyota Corolla 2013.
Toyota Corolla 2013.
So let me ask you this, did you pay the damages or did the insurance company pay the damages?
Entonces, ¿usted pagó los daños o la aseguradora pagó los daños?
Yo pagué los daños, yo los pagué.
Myself, I did it. I paid.
Why didn't you file a claim with your insurance company? Oh,
Can I
¿Y
talk?
por qué no reclamó sus gastos a la aseguradora?
No, ellos dijeron que no se iba a ser responsable.
They told me they were not going to be responsible.
yes.
He had insurance, but the insurance didn't cover what he was doing. That's why the insurance didn't pay for it. I'm so sorry.
Got it.
Es que la aseguradora no estaba cubierta para el daño que usted causó.
Oh,
All right. So what does he need to do, Ms. Lugo?
I already spoke with him. He went to the office. So I did tell him, I gave him the information. Can she talk?
Yes.
I'm so
Sí.
sorry.
That's okay. Sí, bueno, la razón por la que estamos aquí es porque he estado teniendo conversaciones con el señor Moreno.
okay.
I told him that he had to pay. I gave him the information where to pay, and he did. And I told him that he needs to submit now to Austin.
Sí, entonces yo le explicaba que usted tenía que pagar y después meter toda esa información a Austin.
You have the instructions.
Ya tiene sus instrucciones.
So
What do you mean?
what do you wish to do with this case?
Shh. What do you mean? I noticed too late bill came in. What do you mean? I don't understand.
You could do a negative finding. He paid it, and that was the amount that was required.
Sorry,
Um,
can you repeat that?
can't
what
fix
I'm gonna do
Twitch.
is I'm gonna allow
It's
you to
not
keep your
working.
license and I'm gonna make a negative finding.
Sí, entonces yo lo que voy a hacer es que voy a permitir que usted mantenga su licencia, pero voy a hacer que este es un encuentro negativo.
You get to keep your license.
Pero sí puede mantener su licencia
Keep your insurance.
y mantenga su seguro cubierto, pagado.
You're free to go.
Ya se puede retirar.
Yes, Austin, okay?
I didn't put the white sign up.
Listo.
Bill's
Yes.
I didn't even notice Bill's
All right.
here.
De nada.
I
The
was
other
trying
gentleman.
to fix stream.
El otro
Twitch.
caballero Reyes.
Hold on, where is it? Bill. Hi, Bill. I miss you. I'm waving and you can't see me because the stupid sign is in the way.
You may proceed, Ms. Lugo.
Yesterday was a recording.
Okay, we're
I
here with
just-
Mr.
It
Reyes
wasn't live.
for an out-of-state conviction. On July 16 of 2025, he got a driving while license suspended from Idaho.
Sí, señor Reyes, usted está aquí por una convicción que usted tuvo en julio del 25 en el estado de Idaho.
Sí,
That's right.
And what was the conviction for?
He was driving while license suspended. His license is suspended in the state of Idaho from June 25 of 2025 till June 25 of 2026.
Sí, usted tiene una licencia suspendida desde junio del 25 hasta junio del 26 y usted estaba manejando con una licencia suspendida.
sí, porque yo estoy trabajando fuera del estado, entonces yo no tengo nadie en quien maneje por mí ni quien me llevara para presentarme en las cortes de Idaho. Por
Ah,
eso ese fue el problema.
That's right. I haven't got anyone that can drive me, and I need to work. So I haven't got anyone in the state of Idaho. That's why I was driving.
All right. So what's your recommendation, Ms. Lugo?
It's either affirmative, negative, or probation.
Sí, entonces estamos aquí para asignar si es afirmativo, negativo o un periodo de prueba.
I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, Kelly, but I do not remember much about yesterday. It is a complete blur. I was exhausted. Come on, Judge.
But he doesn't
There
have a
we go.
license.
Yes, he does has a license. It's going to expire on September 2nd of 2031. He just has that suspension in Idaho for refusal. But he's eligible in Texas.
Sí, entonces él tiene licencia que se caduca en septiembre del 31, pero está suspendida por ahora en el estado de Idaho.
What do you do for a living?
¿A qué se dedica usted?
Soy pintor.
I'm a decorator.
All right, I'm going to suspend your license for 3 months. I'm going to probate that suspension and allow you to keep your license.
Bueno, voy a
Yay.
suspender su licencia por
Thank
3
you,
meses,
Judge.
pero le voy a permitir que la mantenga pero eso será por 3 meses.
Pero no voy a poder manejar.
So I'm not going to be able to drive.
No, you're going to be able to drive.
Sí, sí va a poder manejar.
You can't get a ticket in
Está bien.
3 months, sir.
Sí, porque ocupo mi licencia porque yo estoy trabajando todo el tiempo fuera. Y
Yeah, I
pues,
really need my license. I mean, I work out of state.
All right, keep insurance on your vehicles.
Y mantenga, por favor, sus seguro de
You are
gastos
probably
de sus
right.
vehículos.
I don't
Sí,
know what
sí
I
lo
said
tengo.
yesterday.
Yes, I've got that covered.
All right, there you go. Sign right there. You're free to go.
Sí, por favor, firme y ya se puede retirar.
Gracias.
All right, now we'll go through the docket. Department of Public Safety versus
Oh, no,
Janet
the ceiling
Thames.
fan.
Janet Thames.
Don't take the ceiling fan
Here
away.
she comes.
Is he leaving?
And Miss Diana, I think you're done.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
All right, you want to make an announcement again? Make it again just in case.
Sure. Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Diana y soy la intérprete para esta sesión. Si hay alguien aquí en la sala que necesite interpretación inglés-español, español-inglés, por favor levante su mano ahora.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
No one. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
All right,
you.
have a good weekend.
I need my driver's
All right,
license.
let's see. Miss Lugo, tell me why we're here.
We're here with Miss Thames. She was in an accident, so we're here just to make sure that she's continued to make payments.
All right, where are we at?
So, so far I've paid $1,050, and though I
What was the
apologize,
total damages?
8,000. I think it's eight-
At the beginning it says 7,555 with 94 cents.
All right, you
So,
paid.
I paid $1,050 so far,
How
and
much are you paying a month?
$100 a month. I'd just like to say that I apologize for the situation at hand. I have my own hardships. I know that has nothing to do with that, but I had an accident at work. So I have to take a Uber here, and it's going to cost me $80 each time. Every 3 months I have to come. I continue to pay on time.
All right, okay, all right. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. All right, she's been paying on time. I'm gonna close it out. All right, I'm gonna make a negative
I got an idea though. Don't work. And then you can't get into an accident at work.
finding. She's got an agreement. She's been making payments. Now,
Duh.
understand this. All right, that if you fail to make the payment, you're gonna get a notice back over here, all right?
I won't fail.
All right, perfect. I believe you. Okay, there you go. You're done. It's closed out. God bless you.
Thank
Have a
you
good-
very much.
Have a
God
good
bless you.
weekend. Have a good holiday season.
Happy holidays.
Department of Public Safety versus Jaime Lozoya. Mr. Lozoya.
That was nice.
Jaime. All right, let's see why is Jaime here?
We're here with Mr. Lozoya. He was driving with license invalid, but he was not eligible. He had FTAs. So now he did everything that he needed to do. So he's eligible to go get a license at the DPS office.
Yes, sir.
When were you here last?
I was here last month.
Last time?
Yes, I took care of everything with them this month. I have an appointment December 15th to get my license back.
All right, great. That's next week. All right. And so he's eligible, correct?
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna suspend the license for 3 months. I'm gonna probate it over a period of 3 months. You get to keep your license. All right, there you go. Sign right there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, he needs to sign. Hmm. Can you sign right there?
This right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
There you go. Yes. Texas Department of Public Safety versus Melissa Munoz. Melissa? She's here. All right, you may proceed.
Okay, we're here with Ms. Munoz. She was driving while license invalid. She was supposed to take care of the release for the interlock, the reinstatement fees, and her certificate for the driving while intoxicated. But there's nothing new. Everything is the same.
I'm praying somebody says nachos. What national holidays do you have over Christmas and New Year's in your country, Vibers? CJ wants to know. I'm praying there's like a nacho cheese or a nacho holiday. That's what we need right now. National Nacho Day. Take off work. We drink Dos Equis maybe. Or Coronas.
What do you have?
I have the release for the
She has to send that to us and I can't do it
Okay.
because I don't know if that's the correct one that she needs.
had a hard time getting those. They've been
Bobby took my nachos and said, F you nachos, I'm pulling up my bacon. National Bacon Day. Yes, sir. Police nacho dad. Come on, Judge. What's going on with YouTube Day? This is YouTube Judge. There we go.
All right, so what are we gonna do with this? All right, you need to send them to DPS in Austin. What address does she send them to?
you didn't know that. So I just need to send these off to them.
You need to send those off. You need to pay your reinstatement fee. And then it could take up to 21 days for them to see that you send them and they'll see if that's the one that
she take this?
Mhm. Yes, that's for her.
That address. Okay.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. You gotta she gave you the paper,
Mhm.
where to send them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna reset this till after the first of the year. You'll get another notice. If in between then, they clear it, you don't have to come in. Right?
No, she still has to come in. You
Okay.
have to make a decision whether we're gonna suspend it, yes or no. She still has to come in.
Okay, she still has to come. All right,
Okay.
all right.
And can I ask one more thing? What do I have to pay? He said,
A reinstatement fee.
Look, you go to where's the DPS website? Where's that?
That paper that I gave her has all the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
And
you.
you can pay it online. Don't mail it in because they may never get it.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Thank
All
you.
right. Texas Department of Public Safety versus Jeff Cortez. Joyner. I have a Joyner here. Attorney Joyner, what happened? Is this the one where,
He was supposed to get the accident report. He hasn't done it. Right now, Mr. Cortez has been downgraded from his CDL because he got the refusal. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration suspended his license, so he's downgraded. So he doesn't have a Class C no more. CDL no more. He just has a Class C license.
all right. So Joyner's not here. We'll see if he shows up. State Department of Public Safety versus Elizabeth Reina. Elizabeth?
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Ms. Lugo?
Ms. Reina was supposed to clear her FTAs and pay the reinstatement fees,
Are
she
there
still has
storms
FTAs
out there
pending and
tonight?
restatement fees
Are there storms? Is it storming outside? I wonder why YouTube keeps,
pending.
you know.
I've made progress. So I found Davila County finally. I spoke to the judge and they were able to reduce the ticket. So I have the receipt for that. And then I paid a ticket out of San Antonio. So I have another court date because I had tickets out of precinct 1, but I spoke to Judge Ruiz and they filled out an indigent form. They're supposed to email me my summary. They never got it. So I have to go back for them because they can't find my case. So she dismissed the expired driver's license out of that precinct, but I have an appointment on June 12th.
There it goes again. So, yeah, we have. So, like, when I worked at Millersville University, we had paid time off from Christmas till after New Year's. But I don't think that's pretty rare. Like, if you work in a regular office or something like that, you have off for Christmas, you know, maybe the day after Christmas or whatever, if you take a holiday, if you use one of your vacation days. And then you have a paid day, January 1st. But that's it. That's what you get. We don't have Boxing Day. I mean, we have Boxing Day, but nobody here celebrates Boxing Day that I know of. What is that? I can't read it because it's way too small, but if you look at the screen, the YouTube chat has a button on the bottom that's like 4 or 5 words long, and then little tiny little words underneath the button. Well, what does that say? Does anybody know what that says? There's no possible way for me to read it. It's way too tiny.
To go back to for them to give my paperwork. So all I have to do is the reinstatement fees, 1 more ticket out of San Antonio, and I think that's it. Just 3. Oh, and the reinstatement fees, 1 ticket out of San Antonio, and
Does she have any omni denials?
Welcome home, Sherry. Welcome home.
Yes, there's 4 tickets still pending.
yeah. So I mean, I'm doing the best that I can. It's just me,
Or-
my income.
And she doesn't have the license,
It's
and
suspended.
she's not eligible.
Until she clears them.
And then goes and gets a license.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm hoping by January 12th, I'll have everything paid. So I just need a little bit more time. And then I'll come back and present everything again and have everything paid. So my
YouTube
kids
is
are very
stupid.
understanding, so they know that all my
Twitch is
money's going
stupid.
to the ticket. So
YouTube is stupid.
no Christmas for them this year.
No Christmas for them, Judge.
Hint, hint. Release.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'm trying to get her to.
Let her reset till after January
wait.
1st. We'll get you back over here.
Okay.
Work on it slowly.
Yes, yes.
Right. You can also, with the city of San Antonio, you can ask them for a payment plan. All right.
I was on a payment plan for the other tickets, so I cleared those. Those are paid. So I just need 1 more for the city of San Antonio.
I'm not clicking it though, Kelly.
and the
Tell me
one
what
for
it goes to.
the reinstatement fees.
All right.
That's it.
Perfect. All right. There you go.
Good job.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Texas Department of Public Safety versus Victoria Peña. Victoria?
Donuts. Oh, I miss Snoopy. Yeah, that was pretty pathetic, JK.
We're here with Ms.
Guilt
Peña.
trip in the
She was
judge.
also involved in an accident, no insurance. She was supposed to start a payment plan.
Okay. So I called early this month or November asking about the receipts because it was a very minor accident. There was no damage to the car that I was driving, and they're trying to charge me over 7,000. So I just want to look at the receipts before I start paying because I do want to pay. I was obviously in the wrong. but I'm just waiting on the receipts. They said it'll take 3 to 4 weeks.
Right?
We've already been since August.
All right. You think you can get it?
Mhm.
All right, because what the department wants me to do is what, suspend her license?
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna give you I'm a bleeding heart. All right, I'm gonna reset it till after January 1st. See if you can get some type of documentation and get into some installment agreement. I'm not a bill collector, all right? But something needs to be worked out between the parties, and that, I'm not talking about DPS, I'm talking about you and the other party. Okay?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
State Department of Public Safety versus Daniel Montoya. Daniel Montoya. Mr. Montoya, there he is. Okay. I'll hear from you, Miss Lugo.
He was supposed to resubmit, to the MAB. I checked, there's nothing new.
Why do they want to take his license away?
Revoke, he had an accident where he blacked out.
Okay, what happened, Mr. Montoya? Unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, Judge. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Judge doesn't
Well,
remember
did
either.
you submit any documentation?
I got everything done.
to the Medical Advisory Board?
I submitted one, but they want some more about my eyesight. Some more
Or have you-
information on my eyesight.
All right, have you done that?
I've gone, and at this time,
Check your front
the
door.
doctor says
Is it there?
for me to wait to to take the test again.
What test?
My eyesight test.
Oh, eyesight test. Okay. So
But as far as the other part,
when are we gonna do it? Because what? Does
Is
he
there
have a
any way-
license? He has a license
I
right
will
now,
click
correct?
it, but I
Yes,
can't
Your
click it right now.
All right. So when are we gonna do it? When are we gonna do
Put
that?
it in Discord.
well, by January or February,
Oh.
it's hard to get a test over here. Okay, is there any way I can take the test at DPS?
No,
No, you need something from what, an ophthalmologist?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, you need something from an ophthalmologist with respect to your sight, your vision. All right, I'm gonna reset this. Give you time.
All right, sir.
All right. I hate to reset these cases because they're gonna come back around and I have to deal with them. But get that information into the medical advisory board so they can make a decision. Then we can have a hearing.
All right.
All right, there you go. You're excused. You'll get notice in the mail.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. The Texas Department of Public Safety versus Isaac Hutchin. All right. Ms. Lugo?
This was an accident where he had no insurance. We reset the case for him to enter an installment agreement plan.
What did
Damn it, our ceiling fan is gone. Look, it's gone. We don't have no ceiling fan anymore.
I spoke to a representative of the credit consumer, the collections company. His name was Evan Philly. That was Monday, December 2nd.
So does he have a judgment against him?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
And we came down to the agreement of doing a 30-month term for $113.98 each month.
Holy cow. 17 months? Monica, thank you so much. That's freaking awesome. Look, even YouTube stopped when you did that. judge. It's coming. It's just a pause. A very long pause. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. Jenny, thank you so much. All right, I have an idea. Give me 1 second. Obviously, we can't play that video right now. Oh, sugar. That view. I just put another one on and it's not playing. Okay, don't worry. I have another idea. For some reason, YouTube videos are just spinning right now. So, I'm getting off YouTube. Why I was on YouTube to begin with, I don't know. What's this? Alright, good enough. We can do this. This was from... Oh, wait. That's too long ago. That was October. Let's get into December. I got nothing in December. Oh no, we're not doing him again. No. 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 How about him? I don't know if we saw this clip before. It was from November. It's Eric. I swear, Mercury has to be in
Motion
retrograde. It just
for-
has to.
The deferred judgment. Actually, that's right. But the DJ, was it a 2-year DJ?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right, I won't reject that. The 2-year DJ will be 2 years of probation. End of deferred judgment date is November 15th, 2027.
Now that I hear his voice, I've missed him a lot.
I will order the restitution in the amount of $5,422.88. I expect that to be paid. Probation on the M1 is 2 years of probation concurrent. During the pendency of this deferred judgment, you are a convicted felon, which means you may not possess firearms except under exceedingly limited circumstances. If you think you need a firearm, I suggest you have a long talk with your attorney about the very limited circumstances under which you may possess a firearm. My friendly 2 cents have nothing to do with firearms. You have shown you're not the good guy with a gun. Anything else from the prosecution?
No.
Vince?
Judge, I'd ask for the bond to be released. I think it may be in sufficient funds to perhaps pay for the restitution. It's someone else's money. I don't want to speak for their money, but it's a family member and they may agree to apply
Okay.
for probation.
No,
or
the
to
bond,
restitution.
bond will be released.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, go to probation now, 303 West Colfax, get checked in and don't come back.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is number 58, Travell Sanders. Still in custody? Yes.
All right, 24 CR 6461, People versus Sanders. Got Mr. Cohen here for the prosecution. Mr. Sanders is here representing himself. I did note that some motions were filed. I was out of town last week, so did not get a chance to review the prosecution's responses, but we're set for Friday. So we'll see everybody on Friday and I can deal with the motions at that time. Otherwise, we're set for pretrial and trial. Anything else?
Your Honor, this is probably not going to happen because of what the court has just said, but it's the people's position that the court has heard the evidence in the form of the motions hearing previously sufficient to be able to rule on Mr. Sanders' motions. And I was hoping not to bring a witness in to testify if it was not going to be necessary, but seeing as the court hasn't had a chance to review, I will have my witness here on Friday and we can.
Yeah, I can try to review things on tomorrow, Wednesday. I can try to get it done. If I can rule on paper, I will. If I can't, then we'll have the hearing.
And I've checked and my witness is available for Friday. I just told him I would at least inquire of the court. So
Okay.
we can proceed to Friday one way or another.
All right, anything else, sir?
Your Honor, I would like to add that I do have a flash drive that I was given that has videos that support my motions. I just wanted to make the court aware that there was an issue. They might have the right technology to plug the flash drive in so it can be reviewed in support of my motions. So he's here to just. Yeah.
Were these the exhibits I already reviewed? Exhibits 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3?
I don't know which videos Mr. Sanders is alluding to. Those were obviously the exhibits that people introduced at the prior motions hearing. So I can't, I don't know if that's what he's referring to or not.
All right, we'll see everybody on Friday.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm ready to call Mr. Mesmin Hazume, number 27 on the court's docket.
I wonder if he's going to be allowed to show
25
the
CR
videos.
4750, people versus his
I mean, it's a discovery violation if he didn't give it to the other side, so I don't know. But if it proves that he's innocent,
Zume entries.
Kate Horton for the people on behalf of Tom Walton, Your Honor.
Michael Orlando on behalf of Mr. Hazume, who appears out of custody to my left.
Hmm.
nice. Your audio is fine. He is just pondering. I could. I guess we don't need those 3 squares, do we? We just need this square. You're so smart, Monica.
All right, I was just double checking my dates. I don't know why we're getting this 25 CR 4750 case now. The date of offense on this case is August 21st of 2025, which was before he was even put on probation. And the other case, it seems like we really should have been dealing with all these things at the same time. So regardless, I'm going to note that this case would not be a violation of 24 CR 2827, given the date of offense. But we're at where we're at.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. Did the court see that Mr. Walton filed a motion to dismiss on November 3rd?
No.
I think Mr. Walton saw some of the same things. Obviously, the court is seeing that this case had kind of administratively gotten lost and has come to us much later. Mr. Walton, I know, already pled a couple of Mr. Hazume's cases in a global disposition with a goal of getting Mr. Hazume on probation and getting him into some services. And I think felt like it was perhaps the administration of the court, perhaps our fault that this case didn't get handled with all the others. And the most appropriate thing here, given the late appearance of this case when we had already resolved a number of Mr. Hazume's other cases, was to dismiss this case in the interest of justice.
Well, that's the type of exercise of discretion and good judgment the court likes to see.
I'll tell Mr. Welton so, Your Honor. Thank you.
25 CR 4750 is dismissed on the motion of the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, in this case, A, thank the DA for doing what is it kind of empirically the right thing, and B, keep staying out of trouble. Have a good day, sir. Bond's released. Counsel.
Judge, if we could call Mr. Rodney Stearns, number 63 on the court's docket.
Stearns.
Yes, she did. Yep, and I'm gonna send them the release form that you just signed. So we should be able to get started on getting all those records today.
All right, 25 CR 3365, People versus Stearns.
Ballsies for the people.
Nathan, on behalf of Mr. Stearns, he appears in custody in person to my right.
All right, set for arraignment today. What are we wanting to do?
Thank you, Judge. We're asking to continue. I just received a signed authorization of release form from Mr. Stearns. I've been coordinating with his attorneys in Adams and Arapahoe to get some records that I think will be helpful in resolving this case.
What's going on with Arapahoe?
He was set for an appearance on arrest warrant today. That was vacated because he's here on this case. I do expect that matter will be reset relatively quickly based on my communications with his attorney.
How much time are you asking for?
I'd ask for 30 days, Judge.
Let's not get into the holidays. How about December 15th?
That works.
That works for the people.
All right, 8:30 on December 15th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See you then.
Definitely now say.
All right, I got it. Hold on a second.
All blacks.
All right. Drag order on Wilson, 74 and 75. Who was on Hemmings?
It's myself and Mr. Halpern.
I don't anticipate that going to be project.
No, that's all right. He's just sick. So I'm just going to call it real fast. All right, 28 and 29, 24 CR 6139, 25 CR 3153, People versus Hemmings. Mr. Aziz for the prosecution, Mr. Halpern for Mr. Hemmings. Mr. Hemmings is not here today. He's failing to appear, but that's because apparently he is sick. I'm not going to issue a drag order because he is sick. I do note that motions were not filed in each of these cases, so we'll vacate the 21st. We are set for a pretrial conference at 8:30 in January and trial in February.
Judge, may I jump in?
Yep.
Would the court be willing to keep Friday's date? Again, Mr. Aziz and I have been in contact on this case. A divert offer, which Mr. Hemmings has indicated to me he'd be willing to accept, has been extended. I'd like to get that ASR going and get all of that process happening.
I'll continue it to the 24th. Again, his sickness, I don't know if he's still going to be sick Friday, and I've got a proof evident presumption grade on Friday. So I'd rather clear that out as much as possible. So I'm happy to set it on the 24th at 8:30 for a disposition.
Great.
All right, so we'll set both cases for the 24th at 8:30 for a disposition, and if we have divert, then we'll get things going.
Great.
Thank you, Judge.
Counsel.
We're ready on number 59, Mr. Saucedo.
Oops. Morning, sir.
Morning.
All right, 25 CR 5159, People versus Saucedo. Entries.
Kate Horton for the people, Your Honor.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Saucedo, who appears with me on bond. We're requesting a continuance in the realm of 30 days. We're getting together some mitigation and have already begun in negotiations, but need a little bit more time.
That was December 8th.
I can do the 8th.
And we've already got the DNA results in this case. It's either going to, I mean, the facts of this case are such that it's either going to work out or it's not. So I think I'll set it for the 8:30 on December 8th. And if we don't have a disposition, we'll set trial.
Understood.
Take care, miss.
We are also ready on Mr. Pope, number 51.
Twenty-two CR 6033, People versus Calvin Pope. Morning, sir. Entries.
Mike Mann for the People.
Josh Lindell appearing as a courtesy on behalf of Mr. Pope, who appears on summons.
All right, he's got a new case, 25M 5333, set for the 25th of November. We just want to trail that.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our request. Mr. Pope went to apply this morning and there was a massive line at the office, but Mr. Halpern instructed him on where to go and how to apply, and we expect that to happen very soon. And we'll get someone assigned to both those cases.
All right. It's a condition of your summons, sir, that you get to the public defender's office today. You're already out of work. Go to 1560 Broadway, get that application done. We'll see you back on December 8th at, we can do 8:30 or 1:30.
I could do 8:30 and also have two questions.
8:30 in the morning on December 8th. Your bond continues until that date. Or yeah, your summons continues.
Okay, I got to meet with my probation officer. And the two questions that I have is this. I have heart counseling as a requirement. And then we had Spanish clinic. Spanish clinic required me to take 4 courses at like $250. Heart counseling is a little bit different. They're requiring me to take 20 courses, but they're saying that they're both for DUI or like therapy class, but I requested to do the parental classes for heart counseling. They haven't gave me the amount of classes I need to take. Currently, I already took, I think 7, I did 9 weeks, the 3 months, March.
I don't mean to be rude. We gotta cut, what's the ask?
I'm asking, how much courses do I have to take for my therapy?
That's up to probation and the therapy provider. I've got
Well, they're telling me that
no,
it's up to you.
no, I order whether or not there's going to be counseling.
So can you tell
And
me?
and they decide how much.
Get us on the case and we'll pursue this. Okay, well, I need to know what counseling, because if not, I need to.
You got to touch base with probation, get signed up for them, and get an application into our office, and we'll hash it out. But he can't change, or he's not going to change probation's orders on this right now. He just
Have a heart
gives it to
counseling,
probation.
Spanish clinic.
Yeah.
He said Spanish clinic, probation said heart counseling. I want to know which one do I need to take?
Follow
Because,
probation.
okay, that works pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you back on December 8th.
And Your Honor, just to confirm, is that for status or hearing?
Well, it looks like it, no, it's entry of appearance of counsel and status.
Great, thank you.
Do we?
Yes, mine requires.
Do we have our interpreter?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll call for the interpreter then.
Then we're ready on number 23, Mr. Gentry.
Twenty-five CR 4821, People versus Gentry. Entries?
Daniel the Checo for the people.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Gentry, who appears with me in custody, or out of custody, apologies. He has qualified, so will ask to be appointed and set over, so we have an opportunity to go over discovery together.
All right, we'll appoint the office of the public defender. How's December 15th?
Jude, thank
Works
you
for me.
so
Works
much.
for me.
That's
We
so
can do 8:30 or
kind.
1:30 since you're out of
Thank you.
8:30.
All right, 8:30 in the morning on December 15th. Now, look, you're out of custody. I always offer it. No one ever takes me up on it. If you're here at like 8:15, I'll take the bench early. But I sit back there drinking coffee, usually doing nothing until like 8:45, 9 o'clock until something's ready. But if you're here, you talk to your attorney, they tell my clerk, you guys are ready to go. I'll take the bench early and get you out of here.
Well, cool. See you at 8:15.
All right.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you, sir. Have a great one. I'll see you soon.
And then we're ready on Miss Love. Number 35.
Twenty-five CR 5018, People versus Love. Entries?
Kate Horton for the people, Your Honor.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Miss Love, who appears with me on bond.
All right. We're set for arraignment today. Early days. What are we doing?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking to continue this matter one more time. We got discovery pretty late in October, and I have not had a chance to completely review it yet.
December 8th?
Works for me.
8:30?
Oh, sorry, wait a second. No, she has a court in Arapahoe on the 8th.
15th?
15th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
catch.
Thank you.
Good catch.
What time's court in Arapahoe?
8:30.
8:30?
She was in both courts this morning, and it was a mess. But
No,
we got
no,
it.
I'm sure it's a mess, and I don't know how fast Arapahoe is. I mean, if you have a car, I can set it for 1:30. That way you're only taking one day off work. I don't know if it's better for you to take a half day. You can do Arapahoe in the morning, half day, but then you got to take another half day off here. Whatever works best for you.
I mean, are you good with the 15th? Let's keep it to 15th. I think
right.
that will be smoothest.
8:30 or 1:30?
8:30.
8:30 in the morning on December 15th, continued arraignment. Bond continues.
And then I know Mr. Ford is online. He messaged me and said his battery is dying. If we want to get him called up, or he disappears. Okay.
Do you have permission to appear remotely?
I believe so. Yes, we requested it the last date, and this was added on extra early.
Oh, yeah, well, we've got issues.
We do.
It's an interesting situation. 24 CR 3. Oh, Anthony Ford, right?
Yes.
Sorry. Twenty-four CR 5881 People versus Anthony Ford entry.
Daniel Cohen on behalf of the people.
Josh Lundell on behalf of Mr. Ford, who appeared virtually.
All right, well, did we know he was going to be moving out of state? Because apparently we got paperwork that says that they cannot do restoration if he's out of state.
Yes, Your Honor. I was confused by that because we have talked about the fact that he lives in Missouri since before competency was even raised in this case, and he has continually lived there. I provided that to the court several times, so this was not new information to comp evaluators, but we're just now hearing that they apparently cannot do out of state. And it was my understanding the evaluation had to be in person, which he arranged transport to get here in person to take that evaluation, but that restoration could be online. Frankly, I need to
Who told you that restoration could be online?
it was just my understanding of, I don't have a specific individual who guaranteed it. It was my misunderstanding at this point. That being said, I would just request a little bit more time to look into this and find out how to do it. Mr. Ford just doesn't have housing here. He would be living on the streets, and I anticipate that's going to create more issues considering his situation. He is housed in Missouri and engaging with mental health treatment out there, and he came out of his own volition to make sure that evaluation got done. So he's doing everything he can on his end, and I've had good contact with him and the Bridges liaison appointed, and she reports that he's had good contact with her. So he's doing everything he can. It looks like we've got an issue with how to restore him at this point.
Did the
And
conditions of his cash bond allow for him to leave the state? I can't imagine it did. Something else for you to look into. I can't imagine when he posted the conditions of bonds, it said you're allowed to leave the state.
yes, I'd have to double check on that. He has been out of state for the vast majority of this case.
And I will tell the court, I had previously discussed that with pretrial services, and they kind of said they don't mind.
Well, there's what they mind and there's what the conditions of the bond actually say.
Agreed.
I'm not trying to. I would like for him to be able to do restoration in Missouri. If that can't happen, if the DA is not dismissing the case, then I've got, my hands are going to be tied.
Understood.
And I can tell the court and defense counsel, this is a case that we won't be dismissing based on the nature of the charges. And it's a victim case. It involves assaultive behavior.
I wasn't surreptitiously asking. I was just saying if this case is moving forward and, you know, at some point, I got to do what I got to do. Got to do what the law requires. So, all right, let's see if we can get it worked out. How about it December 15th, just for a status to see what's going on?
It
That
looks
works for
like
me.
he has
I
a
would ask to be
very
allowed to
warm
go
coat,
here
though.
virtually at that date.
He may appear virtually. That's at 8:30 in the morning on December 15th. You understand that, Mr. Ford?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. I tell you what, when you appear in court, I expect you not to be walking around. I expect you to be in a quiet place where you sit down and it is a court appearance. I can't have you walking around making me dizzy as you go about your life. This is a court appearance. Treat it like a court appearance. Be in a nice quiet place where you can sit down and we can deal with this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you on the 15th at 8:30.
And last, we have number 14, Mr. Davis.
All right, 24 CR 5072, People versus Davis. Entries?
Daniel Cohn on behalf of People for Ashley Morgan.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Davis, who appears with me on bond.
All right, set for status today. What are we doing?
Yes, Your Honor, it's our request. We're set for status today, hearing Friday. It's our request to leave the Friday date on the docket. This is a situation in which, in talking to District Attorney Casterline, the complaint will either be pulled at that point, or we will be proceeding to hearing at that point. And she needs more time to get in contact with the probation officer to make that decision.
All right, we'll see you on the 21st.
Thank you.
Judge, if we could address 4 and 5, Mr. Baxter. This is not Mr. Baxter, but we could address those.
I can do it.
What do we want to address? Looks like we've got a use of force.
And Judge, I've sort of been on the fence for a few court appearances with Mr. Baxter on exactly what's going on with him and if this is a competency situation or something other than that. Based on my last jail visit with him and his refusal today, I think it is appropriate at this point to file a competency a motion to have an evaluation completed. Again, given those latest interactions, I would ask the court not to drag him over here, given that scenario. Ask it to be set in 1H. I'll get those motions filed, but allow this to sort of play out in
No,
1H.
I don't have motion, so I'm not going to do that. We were set for dispo today. Motions on Friday. There were no motions filed. So we can vacate Friday.
I think we still need to call the cases if we haven't.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know what I'm going to do. And Andrew will go ahead and vacate the use of force. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll call 4 and 5 on the court's docket. 25 CR 1102, 25 CR 1054. People versus Baxter. Mr. DeCecco is here for the prosecution. Mr. Halpern for Mr. Baxter. We are set for pretrial and trial in both of these matters. I am going to vacate the Friday settings because no testimonial motions have been filed. The matter remains set for pretrial on January 26th. If there's going to be anything filed with the court, then let's get it filed. If you want to make sure that I see it, please send a courtesy email to the 4G mailbox, just letting us know that your motion under seal was filed. And once we get that, then I can take action.
Understood.
All right, this gentleman is?
This is Mr. Flores, number 18 on the docket.
Gabriel Flores, right?
That's correct.
excuse me.
I didn't know that was a thing. The Harry Potter
25
cleaners?
CR 1579, People versus Gabriel Flores entries.
Daniel DeCecco for the people.
And Robert Halpern on behalf of Mr. Flores, who is present in custody, set for sentencing today.
All right, I reviewed the November 10th PSI. Any additions or corrections?
No.
Not to the PSI judge. I did also, and I'm sorry I did this so late. I meant to get this done last week, but I have submitted some additional sentencing materials that I got uploaded today.
Give me
I would
just a
ask-
minute.
What's that? Sorry?
Give me a moment.
Yep.
What? Okay. Yeah, I found the non-disposition for sure. So obviously.
Yeah. If there'll be any issue with that, I just want to case resolved. Get him a quick list. The gun, of course, is going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know you knew that. What's that?
All right, well, I've reviewed now the letter written by Mr. Cataldo, who asked for a probationary sentence, which I can't give because there's a,
Judge, that letter, I believe, actually is to the parole board. And I'll talk more about why I submitted that to the court.
oh, I thought he was writing that to me, asking for a community, release to the community where
No, that was a-
I can't do that. He's got to,
Understood. That was,
the prior felony.
I'll explain that letter a little bit more in my comments.
You can let him know about the typo. All right. I've also reviewed the letter from Reviver Health, as well as reviewed the various certificates of completion.
What pardon? I don't know how to pronounce the company name. What is it?
All right. Anyhow, Mr. DeCecco.
Thanks, Judge.
Thanks, Judge. There are two victims that want to address the court before I make my remarks. Sure to state your full.
Good morning, Judge. My name is Tiffany Gurley.
What would you like me to know?
Honorable Judge, I am here today to not only speak to you on behalf of me and my children, but to show the defendant Gabriel Flores that as a family, we stand united and are stronger than he ever imagined we could be. When Mr. Flores pounded on mine and my children's front door early in the morning, the fear immediately started building in my household. My daughter backed away from the door and her anxiety rose. When she came to the shower to tell me he was there, I felt the same anxiety racing through myself, but warily I told her to let him in. As I got out of the shower, I went directly to my room where he was standing over my bed where our son was still lying, woken up by his pounding and yelling. I was hesitant to start a conversation as I knew he was violent from past enraged encounters, but I never imagined that he would threaten to, quote, kill us all. On the morning of the crime, Gabriel came to mine and my children's home to try and win me back after arguing days prior. When I got out of my rushed shower, I found Gabriel in my bedroom telling my 4-year-old son that he would never see Daddy again. to which my son still remembers and has repeated several times since. We argued about being unfaithful and that I was done being disrespected. His response was, "I didn't mean it, and I only did it to make you mad." As our fight got louder, unbeknownst to me, my 12-year-old was in her bedroom recording the argument in case she needed evidence. I told Gabriel we were done and I wanted out of the relationship. He then put his hands in his pocket, acting as if he was holding a gun. He said, "All right, if that's what you want," and walked out of the room into the living room. I heard what I can only explain as a couple of loud clicks, assuming it was a gun. As he walked back toward the room, I shouted down the hall, "I have children." Exclaiming that I had children was me hoping to level his emotions and remind him that one of those children was his own 4-year-old son. I was hopeful that it could calm him down. When he arrived back to the room, he more obviously held his hands inside his pocket as he was holding a gun. He stated, "I don't care, I'll kill us all."
I did too.
This is when I started.
It was rough, Martha. It was rough. But we're back on schedule now.
To fear for our lives and had no choice but to put on a brave face. My adrenaline skyrocketed and my fight or flight mode kicked in. I told him, "You are scaring me," and to leave my house. I had to function as if I was strong to fight through the situation while I genuinely wanted to run away and fawn. Thankfully, my instincts were right and he calmed down, stating that he was sorry, that he was not in his right state of mind, and that he would never hurt us if I took him back. These were the usual tactics and words he used against me to excuse his violent and disrespectful ways. He finally left the room, went through the kitchen and downstairs for something, and when he came back upstairs, he yelled, "Good luck getting to work," as he left out the front door. Instinctively, my daughter started recording him from her bedroom window, and I ran to lock both doors, scared that he would return. I broke down crying and had to calm myself as the adrenaline slowed and anxiety started rushing back through my body. I checked on both of my children and just held my son, telling him I was sorry he had to see and hear that. My 4-year-old son stated the same thing he has said to me multiple times whenever I apologize that we cannot see or talk to Daddy. He said, "It's okay, Mommy. It's not your fault. Daddy was being mean." Once again, me and my children had to get ready for our day as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened. That morning, although I would later learn that it was traumatic for all 3 of us. I will always feel mommy guilt that I made my children just go on with their day. As my daughter finished getting ready to catch the bus for school, I walked to the car to grab my son's coat, and that is when I realized we were really stuck at home. I noticed my front tire was flat from a puncture. Until that point, I did not know exactly what he had done until I watched the video footage from my doorbell camera. After walking out of my house, Gabriel stabbed my tire, went around to the back of the house, came back to the front, and walked away down the street. I went back inside, scared that it was a setup for him to be able to come back and do whatever he wanted with no escape for us possible. That is when I called the police. As we waited for police to show up, it was difficult to breathe and focus on feeding my son breakfast as we would not make it to work and school on time. When the police showed up, I fought through the tears as I told them everything that happened. They then asked me to look through the rest of my videos to see if I had any more evidence that might help them. It was then when my heart dropped and I truly saw how horrifying the situation could have been. The footage showed him leaving my room when I heard the clicking sounds. The sounds I heard was him at the couch, loading a gun, cocking it, and walking back to my room, threatening to, quote, "kill us all." The choices that Gabriel made that day have not only landed him in jail yet again, but have had an impact on us emotionally, mentally, financially. His actions have affected our relationships and our daily lives, both then and now. After realizing my tire was stabbed, I had to call into work, which led to missing wages. A call to AAA ended up costing extra since I used all my roadside assistance for the year. When I went to replace my tire, I had to buy all 4 tires since my vehicle was 4-wheel drive rather than simply replacing the one he stabbed. Still to this day, I am paying for that on credit as I have not had the full amount. The interest still rises. Until Mr. Flores' arrest, my anxiety never left. The thoughts of him coming back and hurting or killing us constantly ran through my mind, and I was unable to focus or sleep at night. I was scared to go home, so we stayed with my mom. However, being there did not curb the stress since he knew exactly where to find us if he wanted to, and the thought of hurting my mom caused me even more worry. But it was our only option. I informed my daughter's school not to release her to anyone other than me until he was arrested and had to send them a picture of his face along with the restraining order. Upon returning to work, where my son was also enrolled, I had to request a new door code to get into the building in fear that Gabriel would try to take my child. I also shared Gabriel's picture and restraining order with them. Although he was quickly arrested, the stress that I encountered before, during, and after the crime caused me to miscarry my daughter at 20 weeks gestation. The trauma that my mind and body went through with the crime, as well as the pregnancy and miscarriage, was immense and caused a major depressive episode where I had to up my anxiety, depression prescription. I missed multiple hours and even days at work for hospital stays, bereavement, and sporadic mental health days. I was a complete mess. Because the children were present during the time, I had to take further time off work for appointments with CPS, victims advocates, forensic investigations, and court hearings, not to mention having to step out of my classroom multiple times just to talk to detectives and investigators, which put a toll on both me and my coworkers. Prior to Gabriel's release from prison, I worked hard to convince family members that he was a changed man, which he clearly was not. Relationships with family and friends were strained and took time to build after the I told you so's and you should have known betters. Gabriel tried to isolate me with friends and even my own daughter who stands beside me today. Thankfully, I did not let that happen because I knew the tactics he was using, but being with Gabriel still puts a toll on the strong relationship we had before he came into our lives, but we are slowly rebuilding. My daughter is affected by the domestic abuse she witnessed throughout the years, as well as the trauma she suffered the day of the crime. She suffers from anxiety attacks and often must excuse herself from large crowds and overstimulating environments. Her anxiety is something we are constantly trying to work through. She has been deeply affected over the years, as she will tell you next. But for a 12-year-old to instinctively record a fight because she knows how violent they can get is not something most children would think of when couples are fighting. Unfortunately, she had the immediate instinct to provide evidence for the police if needed. We are currently exploring therapy options to help her cope. My son, on the other hand, has already started therapy to help with his confusion, frustration, and anger issues. He suffered acute trauma and has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. To this day, my son startles when he thinks people are yelling out of anger and will freeze due to fear, only expressing that he was scared once the yelling subsides. In therapy, he is learning to recognize his feelings before they explode and practice tools to control the anger and big feelings he has inside. My son is almost 5 years old and asks when Daddy will come back from the mountains or if he ever will see him again. The mountains are where my son associates Gabriel being, as that is where we picked him up from prison last October. I can only explain to him that Mommy's job is to keep him and his sister safe, and when Daddy was home, he was not making safe choices. I never wanted my son to feel the pains of having an absent father, but he understands that Daddy was not keeping us safe, and that is why he cannot see him, or he cannot see him, or as he says and remembers, Daddy was being mean. For a while after Gabriel's crime, my son would angrily and continuously scream he wanted Daddy, expressing his confusion and anger even though he articulates why Daddy can't be there. He can't fully wrap his little mind around it. My son was only 7 months old when Mr. Flores went to prison and was almost 4 years old when he came home. He was so excited to have his daddy home, but it only took Gabriel less than 6 months to commit a crime and be out of his life again. For that, I could never forgive Mr. Mr. Flores for breaking my baby's heart. Gabriel was released from prison in October 2024, in which he used those 3 years to convince me that he was a changed man and all he wanted was to come home to his family and leave the violence and street life behind. It took him only 5 months to start getting high again and become violent towards me and anyone else. Mr. Flores was not new to being on parole. He has done it multiple times, although never successfully. He was aware of the stipulations and rules that parole entails, and as a felon on parole, he knew full well that possession of a firearm was against the law, yet he chose to do it anyway. He came to my home that day to scare me into continuing our relationship, and I am afraid to think what he would have done had the situation escalated. From this crime, Gabriel faced a total of 17 charges, but was able to plead down to only 2. It is important to me that child abuse and habitual domestic violence was part of the deal, in hopes that the next woman he preys on has a chance to see what kind of guy he is before it is too late. Although I am terrified to say this in front of him, it is in my opinion that 2 to 6 years will not curb his violent tendencies, and once he is released, he is a danger to society. I have witnessed his road rage and even at random people who he thinks is rude or disrespectful in the community. One of these days, he is not going to walk away and is truly going to hurt someone. I can only pray that it isn't me. Through my fear of retaliation, I have to stand up for myself and my children in asking you to give the full sentence to me and give him the full sentence so me and my family have the time needed to move somewhere he doesn't know, as he is still sending letters to my address, breaking the restraining order because, again, he doesn't follow the laws and he chooses to do it anyway. During previous prison sentences, Mr. Flores has completed multiple anger management, cognitive thinking, substance abuse, and other classes while incarcerated. They have not helped. Gabriel does not apply what he learns when he gets into the real world, and no matter how much time he spends behind bars, he is still the violent man I witnessed in my bedroom the day of the crime. Gabriel needs therapy to deal with the trauma from his own childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Unfortunately, that is not provided within the prison system. So again, I ask that you please consider after his release from prison, he attends intensive therapy to help him overcome his own traumas. He suffered a traumatic brain injury during childhood and has expressed the want for TBI treatment as well as an intensive substance abuse program. My hope is that he benefits from these therapies and treatments to help him through anger, violence, and drug use. Lastly, I would like to bring up forgiveness, as it releases resentment and enables a sense of peace and control. I can never forgive Gabriel, but I forgive myself for not keeping my babies' minds and bodies safe from the violence that Mr. Flores brought into our lives. I ask my children to forgive me for allowing this person to come into our lives, destroy our peace, and break our hearts. And to my children, I promise that I will always work hard to restore the innocence that was taken from us, and that from now on, our home will be our own peaceful oasis.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I am Gabriela Lucero. I grew up in a home filled with fear and violence. My stepfather's abuse from my mother didn't just hurt her, it hurt all of us. I was a child who had to live in constant fear, who learned to stay silent to survive. The impact of those years have followed me into the person I am today, and I stand here today not only as a victim, but as someone who continues to live with the lasting effects of that trauma. Growing up in a home where my stepfather verbally and physically abused my mother shaped every part of who I am. As a child, I learned to live in fear, not just the fear of yelling or the sounds of things breaking, but fear of what might happen next. I remember the helplessness of watching someone I loved being hurt and feeling powerless to stop it. That kind of fear never really leaves you. It seeps into your thoughts, your trust, and your sense of safety. The effects of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse leave marks that go far beyond what anyone can see. The holes in the walls of our home became a reflection of the holes left in our hearts and our minds. Each one of his outbursts tearing away at our sense of safety, love, and trust. The constant fear, the yelling, and the violence didn't just break objects, it broke pieces of who we are. The damage doesn't fade when the bruises heal, it lingers in our thoughts, our relationships, and the way we see ourselves. Living in that environment taught us to survive instead of feel, to flinch instead of trust, and to hide pain behind silence. Those holes, both in the walls and within us, remain as painful reminders of the trauma we endured throughout the 5 years. The constant tension in our home taught me to be on guard all the time. I learned to read Gabriel's mood, to measure every word and sound, trying to predict the next outburst. I lost parts of my childhood to anxiety and silence. Instead of feeling protected, I felt responsible for keeping the peace and comforting my mother and pretending everything was normal. Although I refer to him as my stepdad, he was never truly a father to me in any way. I only use that title because it explained his place in what was our family, not because he ever earned it. His actions, the verbal and physical abuse he inflicted on my mother, and the fear caused in our home stripped that word of any real meaning. To me, his name represents control and trauma, not family or love. I use his name only to identify the person responsible for the damage he caused, not because I recognize him as a parent. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, sir, in terms of rhetoric, you're going to have a lot to outdo holes in the wall as a hole in the heart.
Frankly, there's nothing I can say that can, surpass what the victims have already stated in this case. I will note I filed a property disposition form ordering destruction of the weapon and ammunition. If the court wants a paper copy, I'm happy to provide that. But I just wanted to say the act of the defendant who may not possess firearms, given his numerous prior felony convictions, was an extremely egregious act of bringing this handgun into the home of Ms. Gurley and her children and threatening them. And to make matters worse, he continued to harass Ms. Gurley by violating the protection order from jail. I know the PSI talks a lot about treatment needs and his wish for treatment, and I just wanted to point out to the court, he's had numerous opportunities to address his treatment needs. I counted 3 sentences to probation, 2 to community corrections, and 3 to Department of Corrections with parole. He's not eligible for probation, and he's tried community corrections twice. In 2008, he had a change of address to DOC. And while he was discharged, assuming successfully in 2013, he committed a domestic violence assault the very next year. If he is serious about addressing his brain injury and post-traumatic stress and meth addictions, there are plenty of supports within DOC and parole for him to do so. And it's not worth the risk to the community, especially Ms. Gurley and her children and his children, to give him a shot, a 6th shot on a community-based sentence. The facts of this case and his aggravating history warrant the maximum 6-year Department of Corrections sentence on count 4. And unfortunately, in reality, he would serve less than 3 years of that. Because count 7, the child abuse, involves different victims and elements, and given the level of psychological harm, I am asking the court to impose 120 days jail consecutive to count 4, and having the court find that under 18.1.3501 that is warranted. I believe his parole on Denver 21 CR 5421 is finished, but I would just ask the court to order that this sentence run consecutive to that. As to restitution, Ms. Gurley would like restitution for the expenses that resulted from the tires and such, but she just needs some more time to provide that documentation. So I'm asking the court to order restitution amount to be determined and allow for the standard time for filing that request and any objections. Thank you.
Mr. Halpern?
Thanks, Judge.
Here we go.
First, I meant to mention this earlier. I believe the Other Side Academy is either in the waiting area or online. If they're in the waiting area, I ask that they be admitted to the courtroom. They're here for Mr. Flores. Correct. I believe that's correct.
Well, we'll let her in, but I don't need to hear from them.
I understand that, Judge. And also, given the nature of the plea here and no waiver of the two prior felony rule, the other side academy is not a possibility here. And Mr. Flores knows that, but that does reflect his ongoing desire to address the issues that have plagued him his whole life, and that the victim is right in terms of his own trauma that he has yet to process and deal with. And he had reached out to the Other Side Academy. They had accepted him. They sent.
What, out of everything the victims have said, you start with the victim is right, and then you say, yeah, he did have a lot of trauma. Come on, do better.
Me a letter of acceptance. I tried to push that resolution, given how long that program is, how intense that program is, to Mr. DeCecco. But obviously, given the plea deal, he would not accept that. But obviously, it's a difficult case. Mr. Flores is continuing to put himself in this position, put his people that he cares about, obviously the fear that he instilled. A lot that spring was tough for him. His mother had passed away not long before this event happened, and it derailed all of the efforts he had been making. His healthcare provider that I left provided the court with that letter was also concerned about his suicidal ideation around that time and wanted to alert the authorities to that. And obviously, this was terrifying to the people in that house. Much of this was around his suicidal thoughts, but obviously bringing that into the family, that household, was terrifying for them. But he was struggling. He's been struggling with these sorts of issues. Judge, I debated about providing the court with a letter from Mr. Catallo, but I ended up providing it just because I think it is striking. Mr. Catallo had been in our office, had handled the last case where Mr. Flores went to prison. And even when he left our office and moved to Washington State, he's been in touch with Mr. Flores and wrote that letter, not as an attorney or from our office, but just in support of him, because he's maintained this relationship, sees the efforts and struggles that Mr. Flores has been having, and continue to be there for him and supportive of him. He reached out to me on the case after the fact as well. Obviously, that letter states a lot of these things, the things that Mr. Flores is working on, the struggles he's been having, and obviously got out on parole and is now back here. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. I understand that letter, but it still reflects the people in his corner, the people who want to help him change. And he wants to help change. He is trying to do that. He does not want to be this sort of fear in people's lives. He wants to be a force to help himself and his family. He does have family members here in the courtroom. His uncle is present. His nephew is present. So there are people in his corner who care about him. His nephew is the one who sent me some of these materials, and they're there to support Mr. Flores through this, and have seen the struggles and have seen the changes and the signs of hope as he attempts to deal with these issues. I know, again, Judge, this is also a difficult thing, given what the court heard from these family members, from the victim and her daughter. But Mr. Flores also has a 13-year-old son who's now in the system. He's in the system. He is currently in a DNN situation. The attorney handling that case was here in the courtroom and wanted to provide some details about the work Mr. Flores is doing. He is the only, sorry, let me look at my notes here. He's been participating in every hearing. In that hearing, he has been on the proper phone calls, trying to be supportive, trying to be there, because his son is legally considered an orphan at this point, and upon his release, he would be the only viable option there, and he's trying to work to better himself and obviously be the kind of parent he wants to be and struggle and hasn't been. his son is hoping that court gives Mr. Flores the lower end of the sentencing range. Again, he's been participating in phone calls, letter writing, trying to be there for his son, trying to be using that as part of what he needs to do to better himself. And I know the facts of this case don't reflect positively on that, but these are all of the things he's trying to struggle with and address, deal with his own issues, and be, as I said, supportive rather than a detractor from the people whom he loves lives. He's got struggling with some health issues as well. He's been in and out of the hospital. He actually just got released this morning after he began bleeding in the shower at the jail. He had a blood vessel break in his leg and lost considerable blood. I think it is part of some larger issues that he has been seeing Denver Health about, but again, given his incarceration, the care has been not what one would hope for out of custody. And he is very concerned about those situations becoming more problematic and continuing through prison. Obviously, he's struggled. He is continuing in and out of this pattern that he wants to break. He has the drive, the smarts to do that with continued care, continued thoughtfulness, continually learning and understanding his own issues and his own past to break this cycle. And I know he has the desire and the will to do that. He is going to prison for some period of time, but I was the court to consider the low end. I would ask it be run concurrent to his parole. The court grant all credit that's noted in the pre-sentence report and also run the misdemeanor concurrent as well.
Sir, has the right to tell me anything you'd like me to know?
Your Honor, I want to apologize. You know what I mean? Not only to the courts, but to my ex, my kids. I wanted to show them that I wasn't that monster I used to be. And I promised her out of years after years after years that I was a changed man. But with the trauma of me losing my sister and my mom was the most horrifying thing I've ever went through in my life. Yes.
Ha! Guess what, guys? My coffee's here, so I'll be right back. You guys can sit here and listen to this bullshit while I go get my coffee and pretend he's not talking.
I went suicidal.
Yes, sir.
Would I ever hurt my family? No. Did I say it? Yes. Did I put them in jeopardy of being scared? Yes, I did. But it wasn't my intentions at all. I love them too much and still do. She said that I contact her still through mail. Yes, I do. Because I just found out that she had lost her mother and I wanted to show my heart and condolences because I know what she went through just like I did. But as for anything else, Your Honor, you know, I'm sorry, but this time around being in jail, I have been trying to change. That's why I did the homework for all these different programs to change. The other side of Academy is a 2.5-year program, mandatory, without no contact from the community whatsoever. That's the program I wanted to do, but I didn't get that opportunity once again. I've been asking the courts for treatment for almost 5-6 years now and have not received it. So me going in and out of prison my whole entire life, ever since I was 12, 13 years old, in and out of the system, all it is just making a bigger beast out of me. And I'm trying to make that beast go away permanently. I want to be a different person. I am asking for help, but I just don't get those opportunities. And when I'm out there, you know what I mean? I'm just so focused on everything that's around me and the negativity, you know what I mean? Because this is all I know. Being in the system is all I know. And I don't like that person. And that's why I've been doing the homework I could do just like the Dovo certificates. I do everything I could, Your Honor, to try to change. But like I said, I do apologize to my family. You know what I mean? I do apologize to her. I do apologize to my kids. And I miss my kids so damn much. This is the hardest time I've ever been being alone, but it's made me stronger. That's all I got to say, Your Honor.
Mr. Flores, I know I'm no one to you. And I know you're not going to like what I have to say. But I think you need to hear it. You're not thinking of your son when, as a felon, you go out and arm yourself and do what you did on this night. You're thinking of you and you're being selfish. You're being selfish in that you want to continue to write letters and contact victims when there's a court order saying they don't want your contact. You're not allowed to do it, but you do it because it's a selfish choice. You've lost that right to contact them. You were given opportunities on probation, community corrections, and then yeah, at some point you started going to prison, but that's after you assaulted someone with a deadly weapon, completed that down to a menacing. You caused someone injury with a deadly weapon in Jefferson County. Then there's the kidnapping sex assault case that gets pleaded down to assault with injury with a deadly weapon. So again, a weapons crime, actually hurting individuals. What do you expect to happen? Of course you're going to prison on those cases.
Hi, Walter.
And in this case, you are going to go to prison. Now, if you are serious, if you have made changes here, it's not going to stop you. Other Side Academy will still be there when you get out. You can do things on your own when you still get out. And you can be that person you want to be. I hope you spend time reflecting on the fact that there are children in this world in therapy because of you. That's the flotsam and jetsam you're leaving in your wake behind you because of your selfish choices. I don't know. If I could, is he still under sentence on that DOC? Is he done with his parole?
The parole is terminated now.
All right, well, on the child abuse case, I am going to sentence you to 120 days in the county jail, and I am going to fine pursuant to 18.1.3501 that it would unduly minimize that crime to run that concurrent with the DOC sentence. So you will do the 120 days in the county jail on that count. I do note that there are 243 days of pre-sentence confinement credit, so that will be noted for the record. And after that, I am going to sentence you to 6 years in the Department of Corrections. Again, noting the pre-sentence confinement credit that is consecutive to the 120 days on count 17. There is a 2-year period of parole. We'll reserve restitution for 63 days until January 19th, 2026. Need a written objection to any request for probation within 2 weeks of its filing. If no written objection is filed, then that will be granted. Now, 6 years sounds like an awful lot. It's not. You know as well as I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, you're going to do a third of that, maybe. You know, and the only reason I accepted this disposition, given your background, what do you have? At least 5 prior DV cases? A lot of persons crimes. I would have rejected this if it wasn't basically the top count. I can't force the DA to go forward on habitual counts. But if I had had any ability to reject this plea for anything, I would have. Because this is incredibly generous. I wish you luck and I hope you don't come back.
Appreciate you, John.
And Judge, just so you know, I've reached out to Mr. Deschecco. We're going to work together to get property released to Mr. Flores. I'll send that email to Mr. Deschecco to make that happen and respond appropriately on the restitution matter.
Thank you.
Not needed words. Lawyer, shut up. Ugh. Oh, he got consecutive. The system's against him. Oh, he got prison for violent crimes. The system's against him. It wasn't his fault. Nothing was his fault. What victims? They were no, they're fine. They're not victims. Hi, Kelly. All right. Time to start OJ, guys. Sorry. I missed you. I hate to stop this stream, but I have to. I will see some of you at OJ. I will see more of you tomorrow, which is so far away. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming out.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator. She's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright. She's got that grace. Come join the fun. It's a welcome and play. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and